In the not-too-distant future, a secret mission unfolds. The world is on the brink of chaos, as an ancient, dangerous group, descendants of the legendary Apache warriors, has emerged from the shadows of history. They have taken refuge in the unforgiving deserts of the American Southwest, using forgotten technology and ancient combat skills to wage war. They are not the peaceful tribe they once were. Instead, they are a shadowy force bent on disrupting global stability, and it is up to an elite unit of Navy SEALs, Team 6, to stop them. Chapter 1, The Mission Briefing. The sun was setting over the barren Arizona desert as the SEAL Team 6 operators gathered in a covert military base located deep within a mountain range. The room was dim, lit only by the glow of a digital map on the table. The mission, codenamed Thunderstrike, had been initiated by a government agency that operated outside the normal chain of command. Their objective: neutralize an ancient faction of Apache warriors who had taken control of a hidden complex inside the Red Rock Pass, a location previously thought to be uninhabited. But satellite reconnaissance had shown something entirely different: heavily armed, technologically advanced, and ruthlessly efficient Apache descendants who had been gathering resources for years. Commander Jason "Hawk" Hunter, the leader of Team 6, studied the map carefully. "They've got tech that's off the grid. We're going in, no questions asked. We eliminate the threat, secure the area, and extract." "Understood, sir," said Lieutenant Mark "Falcon" Reyes, the team sniper, adjusting his night vision goggles. "We've got the element of surprise." "I don't think we'll keep it for long," Hawk replied grimly. "This mission won't be easy." Chapter 2, The Red Rock Pass. The team inserted by helicopter, swooping low over the jagged cliffs and treacherous terrain. As the helicopter blades howled through the desert wind, Hawk's mind raced. The Apache warriors weren't just skilled in traditional warfare, they had access to ancient knowledge, arts of stealth, trap setting, and guerrilla tactics honed over centuries. They were experts at blending into the landscape, and Hawk knew that once on the ground, they would be facing a relentless assault. The team touched down on a rocky outcrop, the desert stretching out before them. The only sounds were the soft hum of the helicopter blades as they faded into the distance and the occasional cry of a desert hawk overhead. The mission had begun. Falcon set up a sniper's nest on a high ridge, his eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of movement. He had heard rumors about the Apache's mythical ability to sense an enemy's presence, intuitive, almost supernatural. But the SEALs weren't just soldiers, they were hunters. "Movement, 300 meters, Falcon whispered over comms. "Multiple targets, heavily armed." Hawk raised his hand, signaling the team to advance. Their boots crunched against the dry earth as they moved through the rugged pass. The wind picked up, carrying with it a sense of foreboding. Hawk's instincts told him they were walking into a trap, but there was no turning back. Chapter 3, The First Clash. They entered the heart of the Apache stronghold as the first rays of moonlight broke over the cliffs. The Apache warriors were waiting, silent and deadly. Without warning, a barrage of arrows, laced with poison, soared through the air, narrowly missing the SEALs. Hawk ducked behind a rock, drawing his rifle. "Ambush!" shouted Falcon, as he fired off a round at an incoming warrior on horseback. The Apache's speed and precision were unmatched, and their tactics left no room for error. "Push forward!" Hawk ordered, signaling his team to return fire. The Apache warriors, dressed in animal skins and adorned with war paint, were more than just fighters, they were masters of guerrilla warfare. The battlefield became a blur of gunfire and arrows, dust and blood. But the SEALs were trained for moments like this. Hawk's team used the cover of the rocks to return fire while moving strategically, clearing out pockets of enemy resistance. But it quickly became clear that they were outnumbered. The Apache had vanished into the desert night, only to reappear in ambush from different angles. A ghostly, almost supernatural presence filled the air. "We need air support," yelled Lieutenant Sarah "Shadow" Cole, the team's explosives expert. "We can't keep this up much longer." Negative, Hawk snapped. This mission stays quiet. We finish what we started. Chapter 4, The Apache's Last Stand. As the battle raged on, Hawk and his team pressed deeper into the stronghold. They finally reached the heart of the Apache complex, an ancient stone fortress built into the side of the canyon. Inside, a mysterious figure awaited them. A man known only as the Chief. Dressed in traditional warrior garb, his long black hair flowing freely, the chief stood with a bow in hand, his gaze unwavering. His eyes were filled with the weight of centuries of combat. "You are intruders," the chief's voice echoed, a deep and powerful rumble that seemed to resonate with the earth itself. "You will not leave here alive." Hawk didn't flinch. "We didn't come here for a fight, but we're finishing it." A battle ensued like no other. The chief moved with an eerie fluidity, launching arrows with deadly precision, his movements almost supernatural. His warriors emerged from the shadows, striking with ferocity. The seals were pushed to their limits. As the fight reached its peak, Falcon took the shot. From the highest ridge, he picked off the chief's second-in-command, a powerful warrior known as Thunderhawk, whose death sent a ripple through the Apache ranks. The chief hesitated, just for a moment, and it was all Hawk needed. With a burst of energy, Hawk closed the distance between them, engaging in hand-to-hand combat with the chief. Every strike was a test of strength and willpower, each man pushing the other to their limits. But in the end, the SEALs' training won out. With one final, brutal move, Hawk disarmed the chief, knocking him to the ground. The Apache warriors, seeing their leader fall, finally began to retreat into the shadows of the desert. Epilogue. The mission was over. The Apache threat was neutralized, and the ancient warriors were driven back into the desert, their stronghold reduced to rubble. Team 6 had once again proven their worth, fighting not just enemies, but legends. As the team walked away from the battlefield, Hawk looked at the vast desert horizon. "We've seen a lot of things, but this one was different." "Yeah," Falcon agreed. "But we'll always have the desert." And as the first light of dawn illuminated the desert, they disappeared into the distance, ready for whatever mission came next. The legends of the Apache were quieted, but their story would not be forgotten. Not by the world. Not by the SEALs.